we left off with our landform poster. We were going to, we read about the different landforms of Michigan, and you did your landform poster. And we are going to do some more with that. But today we're going to look at a very special thing about Michigan. There's a little movie clip for you to watch. But we had glaciers cover Michigan, and that's kind of what formed everything. It says, long ago, Michigan glaciers worked like bulldozers. They carried rocks, pebbles, soil, sand along in front of them. Many of the soils in Michigan developed from these rocks, and the other materials are left behind from the glaciers. Big boulders from the northern parts of the state were carried to the southern Michigan and left there. Glaciers picked up soil in the north part of the states also. This soil was deposited in the southern part of the state, leaving the area with richer farmland. Glaciers carved out deep holes. As the glaciers melted, those holes filled with water. They became the Great Lakes. The glaciers also help form many of our inland lakes and rivers. So today we're going to do an ice cream glacier experiment. Feel free to do this at home if you want. All right, so this is my land. These are my rocks. And what happens over time is rocks with water, wind, rain, they end up eroding. So the first thing I'm going to do, I didn't need this many cookies, but all right, is you're going to erode. You're going to play Mother Nature here, but you're going to do it wicked fast. And you're going to, if you do this at home, you don't have to. You can just watch me. So this is my land, okay? That's what erosion does to land. So now I'm going to put my land on my plate. There's my land. Oh, chocolate abuse. There's chocolate left in the bag. Okay, so here's my land. And now a glacier is going to come upon my land. So I'm going to put some ice cream. I use Moose Tracks because it looks like it's dirty, kind of like a glacier is. Now, if you have whipped cream, put that on top. I didn't buy whipped cream. I hate whipped cream. And I didn't think about it. I know I should have. If you buy whipped cream, you're going to see, and spray it on top, you're going to see even better stuff. So right now, this is the beginning of my experiment. I have a glacier, but my glacier is not going to be straight, right? So the glacier's already pushing stuff. So let's look at our glacier over time. Now, you have a piece of paper, and you are going to do the observations with me. So it says, glaciers form Michigan. We are going to investigate how this ice shaped our state. First, we crush up with land, spread the land out so it covers your plate. Please sketch the land. So if you go back to the video and saw what my land looked like, then you can sketch my land. Now we will add the glacier to the top of the land. So we're going to tilt the plate, and after 1 minute, we're going to sketch what you see. So I'm going to put my timer on. Stopwatch. Nope, I want timer. All right. And we're going to tilt it. And we're going to see what happens. I guess you should be looking at this, not this. Okay. What did you notice? I noticed some rocks moved here. I noticed a big chunk broke off and took some. I see some of this is melting and forming cracks. You see a little bit tiny cracks in my glacier. So we're going to write our observations on this part after the minute. So you're going to sketch the land, then you're going to record your observations. Now the next one is going to be 3 minutes. I am not going to make you sit here for 3 minutes and watch it. So I'm going to put my timer on, and I'll put it to 3 minutes. And I will continue to tilt it like this, and we'll get to see what happens in 3 minutes. So let's watch the last 20 seconds. I guess you can't see, but it's moved quite a bit from here. Okay, so let's look and see. I see a big hole right there, and I see some melting. So I see some rivers, and a lot more rocks are towards the bottom, and this whole thing shifted. This all started right here. So it's leaving part of the glacier behind. So if we sketch what it looks like for the next part, after 3 minutes, you're going to sketch what you see, okay? So you see some melting, and if you sketch again, all these more rocks move down, as you can see, and this whole thing shifted. It was all up here on this edge, and it moved quite a bit. And it's starting to melt, and we see some rivers starting to form over here. Okay, so the next one, now we're going to do 5 minutes. So let me move this up to 5 minutes. Okay. What do you think is going to happen? Whoops, I didn't want to do that. That's your Pure Michigan you're going to watch. All right. So look at this. We're going to start it at 5 minutes. Like again, I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing, but you can see a lot of melting happen. I'll come back when it's like 30 seconds left. It's moved quite a bit off of here now. Okay. So look how much the glacier pushed the land. You can see it better. See it? It moved from there to there in just 5 minutes. And it pushed, if you remember, my land was all up here. And it pushed all those rocks down, just like they did on the Great Lakes and the lower peninsula. That's why we see the same soil that they have up in the UP and in the northern part of our state. So you're going to sketch what you see after 5 minutes. So again, we're going to look. What do we see? We see some rivers forming. I see a river there forming. See how this piece broke off? There's a piece that broke off right there. All the rocks have moved. It's pushed the rocks. It doesn't leave a lot of rocks behind. It's left a few behind. But parts of the glacier are breaking off. But all my rocks have moved down. There were no rocks. When we started, my rocks ended here. So that's how much the rocks have moved. Okay. Now, I used to do it for 10 minutes, but kids can't wait 10 minutes. They want to eat it. So I'm going to let it sit here and I'm going to have it tilted and we're going to check back while we work here. So let me move my timer for 10 more minutes. Actually, if let's do 5 more minutes and that will. All right, I'm going to put it on a tilt like I had it. Okay, so while that's doing that, let's look at what we have here. It says, what landforms can you see forming as a glacier? Well, we saw some rivers, a couple rivers. After 10 minutes, you will see more. You kind of see where it's breaking off the land. I don't know. Do we see any landforms? Maybe some hills where it pushed the let's see. So, let's see. Do we see any? Like right here, we have some hills. Those weren't all there when it started. That was flat. So it's kind of pushed rocks up against each other. This piece is broken off over here, and that's got a pretty deep right there. That's going to be a lake, isn't it? Yep, when that melts, that's going to be a nice lake. It's already starting to form. See right there? See the lake starting to form? And there's a little river fall there. There's a river there. There's another piece that broke off. And the glacier itself is breaking right there. I wonder what that's going to cause. Should be interesting to see in 5 minutes. What do you know about glaciers after this experiment and watching the animation of what a glacier does, which we will watch that too. Uh, what what do you think? What did you notice? All those rocks got pushed, didn't they? They did, didn't they? So there is, and I will tell you, geographers do not call them glaciers; they call them glaciers. When I took my first earth science class, because I was going to be maybe an archaeologist. So this video that I'm going to put.
Glaciers are frozen rivers of ice which have immense power.
It shows you what it does. So you're gonna watch this with me, but I'm gonna put the link in there because I know the sound doesn't work.
Glaciers pick up material. We call
So you see
erosion.
See how it's picking up the rocks?
Water flowing along the bottom of the glacier seeps down into the rock below. When it freezes, it opens up the cracks in the rock.
So when it freezes, did you see what happened? The rocks break away. So rocks will break away when water gets in between the cracks and it busts like that. Yeah, it'll cause lots of havoc.
This is known as freeze-thaw weathering. Then, as the glacier flows downhill, pieces of rock come loose and the glacier pulls them along with it. We call this plucking. Ouch. These rocks and stones scrape along the glacier bed like sandpaper, taking.
And that's pretty much what your glacier is doing. It's dragging the rocks with it. So you're going to watch this and finish your sheet here about what does the animation show. And when you're finished, you're going to turn this in. Before we end this, let's check on our glacier again. Oh, yeah. Yep, there's going to be a big lake there. You can see right there. Can you see there? Oops, there's more that's going. That's going to be, that part broke off. That's going to be a lake. It's going to be a lake. You can kind of see how the peninsula is formed because see how it's pushing the land apart there? And it's going to surround it by water. Now it's still pushing the rock. So that is the ice cream glacier experiment. If you have whipped cream to put on top, you'll even see more because the weight of the whipped cream and the way it melts, it even forms better rivers and things. I just forgot to get it. So that is your glacier experiment for today. You need to fill this out the best you can. If you want to do the experiment yourself, feel free. You don't have to. Um, and then next lesson, we'll get into more of the bodies of water of Michigan.